What's going on, everybody? This is the blockchain backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. Today, we're taking a look at the XRP price chart as XRP is battling at 50 cents. Yesterday, the XRP price chart took a stab at breaking above the level that was set as a resistance back there in late April, which was also a support back there in early April. We happened to actually catch that live during a live stream yesterday. And how about that? It's been able to hold on top of that price level for the last 14 hours and did get its daily candle close above that price level. What's so interesting about that? Well, from an Elliott wave perspective, we had done a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now we're back above wave 4. In typical ABC corrections, that will be a resistance level to then go on for a C leg, or even the old 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7s. That can be a rejection level to get one more dip and then move your way up. So breaking above here starts leading to scratching heads on what's coming next for XRP. So we'll take a look at several different things in here to see if we can draw some conclusions, but definitely providing some excitement out there in the XRP community and in the crypto world. Now, I posted this on Twitter last night. Nice deviation there for XRP, the first breakaway in 9 months. Also exceeding above wave 4. The thing that smells a little funny is that the rest of the market is not playing along. The altcoin market cap, which XRP is included in, has been down these 2 days. It's odd. So we'll break those down individually. But what we could see in here for XRP is that over the course of the last 9 months, we've practically had a free blueprint over here on the price action of XRP, really since back here in August. And now breaking away, even breaks away from the wave count that we have in here. So we have a deviation shifting away from our old trusty blueprint of Wyckoff accumulation while breaking above wave 4. Right there. Definitely a bigger move than we've seen in any of these shifts down. So definitely a deviation happening in here. Now, the comment I included in here was that the altcoin market cap, which XRP is included in, has been down these 2 days. It's odd. In which when that tweet was posted, XRP's price was still up last night, but the altcoin market cap was actually down. Now that the day has progressed, the altcoin market cap has started to flip into the green. But yesterday, it was in the red while XRP was up. You have to understand the market cap of XRP is included in the altcoin market cap. So when you see the price of XRP rise, or you see the market cap of XRP rise, but we see the broader altcoin market fall, that's not fresh money like pouring into the market, right? That dynamic would be more of like a rotational shift happening with the capital already in the market. Now, the challenge, of course, is we deal with a lot of conspiracies in this community, so you're going to get a whole lot of different narratives on things like that. As somebody who just focuses on the flows of the market, the point that I'm making is we don't typically see, and not that we don't typically see, we never see XRP go on some big, massive bull run without the altcoin market cap going with it. They go together, and really just mathematically, that's how it has to work because XRP is in the altcoin market. So some strange dynamic shift happening underneath the surface there, just in these last 2 days, right? May settle itself out, but that was an interesting observation yesterday. In this little move that happened in here, there was not a flood of capital into the market. The altcoin market fell while that happened. That was strange. But my thoughts are, with the break above wave 4, with the deviation that has happened in here, I don't know how you can reasonably use this blueprint any longer. Not merely just because, oh, it looks a little bit different than this one does. Really, it's that break above wave 4. And we've talked about this for the last week or two, getting above that 50-cent level. And especially since we had a daily candle close above there, it's hard to lean on this particular structure that's happened in here any longer. It could just mean we're deeper into this than we think. When Brad Garlinghouse made that statement last week that he believes that we are weeks away, not months away, from having a conclusion of the SEC versus Ripple case and whether or not we're going to eventually get clarity for XRP in that moment. Well, we're really just kind of approaching as long as we've accumulated in history. This is the longest we've ever gone before. Doesn't mean we can't go longer, but it's the longest we've ever gone before, and we're getting near that time period. And then I can get really creative in here. I could start doing wave counts on smaller time frames and say, hey, maybe this was just more compressed in here. And we had our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we went on for our final wave right in here. And we're more so in something like this, and we're working this thing out. And this is not exactly scientific to apply fractals in this manner, but typically we're going to have a little bit more consolidation happening in here. Even when we flip over to that daily time frame and talk about what we talked about back in early to mid-May as the 200-day moving average was coming in for that hold, as we saw during our capitulation phase of C19 and then the 22.5 cent days. Typically, even here, we're still just going to work this level out. And even here, you can see how odd it is that you still kind of hold these levels in here. That really becomes your resistance level to still hold the price down. And now that we're out of there right now. So with the break above wave 4, this is really where my mind has to start shifting away to now, rather than some type of big plunge. Doesn't mean some big plunge can't happen, but from the price behavior, the indicator behavior, it sure appears to be acting more like that's what we're doing. The thing is, even this bounce that we've had here, we've gone up about 50%. So we've crossed just over a 50% retracement. Even in this circumstance, we didn't bounce that high. We did a much lower consolidation in here. So we're definitely in a little bit of uncharted waters in here as we're trying to get through this final phase of Wyckoff accumulation, in which we have our selling climax, our automatic rallies, our secondary tests, and then now working on either spraying or last point of support. If you did want to assume that, hey, that was the bottom, there's no more, we're working off the bottom in here, you could see typically 5 waves to pull up. There's going to be more consolidation pulling you back down into the 44s to 45s. So I'm definitely not viewing this as like we're in our breakout right now, but that our odds have increased, that local bottom is already in now. Again, I don't try to present myself as a guru. I try to present the cases as to why. When we capitulated in 2020, we did precisely this as finding our supports. After sitting at the lows for many months, breaking out the 200-day moving average was our support. However, we did waddle around in here for some time before we ended up going. And in 2017, we did 2 sets of 5 waves. And today, or yesterday, we deviated from that. So considering that we've deviated from that, we don't have a proper wave count on here to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, followed by an A, B, C, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fact that we've deviated from this and exceeded wave 4, that makes it very difficult to lean on something like this any longer, which has been fine for the last 9 months. But at the same time, it does not appear, to me at least, that we're in full-blown breakout. Why would it not appear that, hey, it's time to go to moon right now? It's because of the percentages that we're seeing. If you look over here, we have 0.86% today. Yesterday, while a move up, that is only 2.5%. And typically, breakout goes all in, YOLO, excitement. It's these types of things, right? It's these 25% candles. It's these bigger mamma jammas that come in here, followed by back-to-back big green candles that happen in here. And that's just not what we're seeing. This is a creeping up action for XRP. And it's always like conspiracy in the XRP community. Flip the switch. They flipped the switch. What secret ledger is running XRP right now when the price starts moving really fast? But that's always been the historical price action of XRP, is that if it's actually moving, it's moving really, really fast. And that's what always happens in these bigger moves whenever they happen, that they're always just lightning fast. When the bull is actually in full progress or in full motion in here. And so when we're just kind of creeping along like this, where we're just doing, 2-3% a day, we are exceeding resistance levels, but just kind of going 2-3% a day. It doesn't scream to me we're in breakout. For me, and the rules that I follow, based on things I just showed you, that we deviated and we've gotten above wave 4, my thoughts are we've drastically increased the odds of that being the bottom. Which, as you guys know, I did nibble a little bit down there because this is the same thing we saw in 2020 with the 22.5 cent time period. But now we're going to move into more complicated times. Now it's either, hey, we've got to get an actual breakout happen in here, or else we are just in a bunch of washing machine in here. Even if it was like 100% confirmed, right? If we 100% confirmed, that's the bottom. It's not going lower than that. Still have to have a thought process if this could be how things do go in here, because it's just a large range. If we were exhibiting price action of like, let's say we printed a 20% candle today or something, whoa boy, different story. But we're not. We're printing these little 1, 2, 3, 4% candles in here, as that is typical price action that occurs from here. So for me, I've had a little bit of extra capital that I was willing to throw into XRP. I did throw in some down in here, but with this recent little break that happened in here, in order for me to get my money into XRP, I am no longer going to be chasing down here. Still possible, but it's not what I'm chasing. I will actually be patient, and if it offers the 44 to 46 cent area, that's where I'll start throwing it in. If prices break above the range height we have right now, like 58, 59 cents, probably kiss that goodbye that it's not going to happen, but we're not really exhibiting breakout price action. We're exhibiting kind of ranging price action with these 1, 2, 3% moves that are happening here for XRP. I had a few people message me yesterday and say, hey, what do you think of all this? And of course, you got all the messages in the live streams. I'm FOMOing. It's like, well, first of all, we're in a range. Just kind of keep that in context, right? We're in a range and we're halfway in between the range, right? There's the top of the range of 58. There's the bottom of the range of 41. We sit right in the middle of it at 49. I've probably been through 10 to 15 super big pumps, and I don't even know if that's accurate, if it's more than that. My entry into XRP began back in here in June and July of 2017. So I got to witness all the majestic times that XRP just turned straight up. And then unfortunately, what I've also gotten the joy of experiencing is it turning straight back down, and how often it does do that until the range actually clears. And what happens when these ranges clear, anytime we're just grinding, it was always kind of false. And that's been the case all the time for XRP until finally you get a clear break. Then it just keeps going. So if we get some type of like 20% candle, it just blasts through the retracement levels. Let's go. The YOLO titles, diamond hands, laser eyes, literal moons on thumbnails, all kinds of excitement. But until then, we're kind of climbing this wall of worry, and we're kind of just like chipping away at it right now as we're grinding our way up right in here. The good news is we've seen signs from Bitcoin that the capitulation phase was completed back in here on May 12th. Now it's just ranging, accumulating to get another move to the upside. I know it's one of the least sexy things to say about Bitcoin, but it's something I've been talking about for years at this point, is that XRP tends to run in very specific circumstances. And one, of course, the altcoin market is included in that. But two, it's either Bitcoin breaking out into a new all-time high or when Bitcoin goes back in for a retracement. And, I just want to say, right, what are we setting ourselves up for in here? We're setting ourselves up for Bitcoin to get that move into that retracement level, while at the same time, XRP is approaching the end of its accumulation range. So the elements are there, but the day you'll see me start to be like, all right, I think we're actually in our pump, is one, we need to see like a plus 10% candle over there on XRP, and two, get above all the retracement levels. In particular, just a really big fat crack right there through the 702. And you may be saying, cliche, BC Backer, you're always going to say 702. You're right, I will. But even for that phase after the capitulation in 2020, that's also the price level that XRP had to crack through, break through that last fib, and then off and away XRP went. So I don't think there's anything wrong with getting excited about what's happening in here. I've done a pretty good job of keeping myself pretty calm through all of this, keeping my emotions in check. I'm still keeping them in check because typically we're going to see more ranging in here. But you'll see that dynamic change for me if we get through the retracement levels. Otherwise, these little 1, 2, 3, 4%, these are what we really see still in ranges. And breakouts for XRP are typically marked with, big breakouts, 20, 30% daily candles. So overall, the price action that we're exhibiting, to me, increases the probability that this was the bottom, just as we did from back in 2020, as we held the same price levels in here. The deviation, the break above wave 4, those are the things that signal to me we're getting a little too high. Now it's about pullbacks, and if we don't get the pullbacks, it's about watching these price levels, and if we get through these price levels, BCB will become a moon boy. So a clear crack above 55 cents, and I'll start thinking this puppy has set sail. Otherwise, it's just important to remember what we're working with, which is a large range that we're still within. It's just recognizing the type of range that this is as a Wyckoff accumulation that has already experienced its selling climax with the secondary test, automatic rallies with the secondary test, and now in the spring or last point of support phase, which can have the violent spring back down to the lows or the grinding last point of support. And with our support holding in here on top of the 200-day moving average, it is appearing more likely we're just working on a last point of support in phase C rather than an aggressive spring. So give me the 44s to 46s. I'll take another stab at the market to add more. Like I mentioned, the amount of capital I'm willing to throw in here only increases my bag by about 20%. But if I get the chance to take it, I will. Otherwise, we're starting to see some optimistic signs throughout the market with Bitcoin holding its support. We even actually saw Ethereum come down and touch that level that we were looking for over there on Bitcoin, hitting that February 16th height, which is what we were looking for over here on Bitcoin on February 16th. Ethereum did hit it right here. And at the same time, XRP gave us a nice bounce off the 200-day moving average. So feels like we're kind of in that last moment of waiting for an actual breakout. We have a confluence of supports that came in throughout the entire market. We've got price action on Bitcoin, which mimics that of that little break up that we had a couple of days ago, that those are typically what happens once capitulation phase is already over. And now we're getting this to happen over here on XRP. I'd say we're seeing confluences coming in of the bottom already being in place. And when you move from that phase of saying, hey, it seems as though the bottom is in, then you work on consolidation, accumulation, then breakout. And right now it's figuring out accumulation, consolidation, and then setting those boundaries of where breakout is. So for me, those are always going to be retracement levels. So my thoughts are with the deviation, with the break above wave 4, and with the 200-day moving average coming in as support on a price level that we've seen historically, along with a complete recovery in daily RSI, things are looking pretty good for XRP down there at 41 cents. Now comes waiting for breakout or washing machine. If washing machine happens, I'm taking a stab in here between 44 and 46. Otherwise, I've been buying XRP for 5 years. If we get the breakout, let's just go for it. But those breakout levels to watch for, the first one's there at 53, a little over 53 cents for the 702 retracement. And the next one is at about 55 cents for the 786 retracement. And the thing is to just be mindful there. What we usually see is you'll see daily candles, right? So daily candle breakout and closes above retracement levels. So if you had to ask what my sentiment is here, I would say optimistic, but still cautious, just because we sit right in the dead middle at 50% of the entire range, and we haven't broken from ranges, and we haven't broken higher retracement levels. So I still have to be cautious in here from retracement levels. That will be nothing new for anybody who's followed the channel for a long time. I'm always going to be cautious here at retracement levels. I would say I'm optimistic of our low being in place, but unconvinced of our breakout taking place. And for me to be convinced of a breakout taking place, we'd have to get above all retracement levels, which would be daily candle closes above 55 cents. And if I had to lean on what typically happens in here, it's typically more accumulation. But if we get through the retracement levels, it will be YOLO, FOMO, thumbnails. So that's where we're at. All eyes are now on if we're shifting our way up into the higher retracement levels. And if we do, can we get through them? If we can get through them, it's probably going to get pretty exciting up in here. So we'll keep our eyes on it closely. If you don't know, I'm probably staring at it every hour of every day. I do know there's a ton of vested interest in it, just going through this Ripple and SEC lawsuit for so long, and the emotional investment so many people have in this. And you have to understand, I do too. The logo of my channel has the X on the hat. I made the most videos about this asset out of any of them. I want it more than anybody, or as much as anybody, but we're still just in a ranging context. And there has to be a much bigger breakout to start really getting super, super excited. And believe me, the day it happens, it'll just be tears of joy, I'm sure. You guys have all heard me tell the story to my daughter since she was like in diapers. Hey, Daddy, do you have the big green line yet? No, honey, I don't. So trust me, I want it. We've just been through so many of these washing machines with XRP. And just it's not a technical breakout yet. It's still being under the retracement levels. So we've got some work to do to start hooting and hollering. But if we get them, I'll be the first one to go bananas. So we'll keep watching it every day. I've got another video I'm going to be putting out of some other data I was analyzing throughout the weekend. I showed a little bit of that over there in the live stream I did yesterday as I was cooking a brisket. But I'll put together a formal video on that, maybe have that out today or tomorrow with XRP versus the market caps. And just that, whether Bitcoin's going into a retrace, whether we're at the end of Wyckoff accumulation, whether we're at the end of fractals and accumulation structures, there is a massive confluence throughout the whole market that our time is coming soon. And living through those moments before, living through 2017, right? I didn't come in 2018. I didn't come in at the end of 2017. I got to really live through that XRP bull run, the shooting from 20 cents to over $3 and being there in the moment of the breakout, watching it on the charts when that happens. And it's just, it was exciting. It was a real breakout. It was just boom, explosion of price action. And considering every move up and every breakout we have seems to have that type of feel to it, regardless of if it's major runs or if it's only 200% or 100%, they all kind of have that juice feel to them. I think when we get it, we'll know it. It won't be this 1, 2, 3, 4% stuff. You'll really just feel it and know it and see it. And whether that's in a day from now, a week, 3 weeks, 3 months from right now, I think we're getting really close to it. But I also don't think it'll come with a lot of this kind of just creeping along stuff. There'll be the mark. There'll be the boom, as pretty much every thumbnail clicky baity thumbnail has. Boom. It does go. But a lot of times that has to happen from a technical level, right? And so for me, those levels I'm watching would be retracement levels. So we'll keep an eye on it, and I'll get more data out there with the XRP versus the market caps of crypto to show how even there it appears that we're nearly there at time. So, all right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up so I can get ready for markets in the morning, get this video out early. I want to thank you so much for watching. If you could, please like this video and give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you could be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice and I am not a financial advisor. But if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.